It wasn't actually the bullies that drove me to suicide. It's how my so-called friends treated me when I went to them for help. Before Natalie died, none of them wanted to hear what the fuck was going on. None of them cared, so obviously they weren't my friends. When Natalie disappeared and all these fucking jackholes who I'd gotten rid of them in my life. I was done with racism. I was sick of that shit. I never wanted to go back to Chapel, Nebraska. I never did. I did need to. Big difference. I already knew these people's content and character. Tried to chat them up a bit. Tried to make them sound a little more saintly than they are. Not really. See, there's a lot of details that didn't have nothing to do with Natalie Bollinger that I told the whole world. There's a reason for that. Because it's a history of abuse. A long history of abuse from many of the same people. Last night I had to go to the hospital. Tried to pop an abscess. That's what it says in my paperwork. It says abscess. Let's see if I can find my paperwork and I'll read it to you. Didn't lance it, but he knew it had been lanced before. And of course, I didn't have the ability to record it. But I'm going to tell you the story of Mr. Miller. Last night, that fucking racist jackhole was there, fucking, just when I thought, you know what, I'll just turn off my phone and turn off the light, and fuck, that didn't work. I just felt sick, I couldn't sleep, I still can't. Nobody was gonna listen because of the term mentally ill, and nobody did. Nobody actually listened to understand. Meg, to this day, never listened to understand. And that's difficult for me. That all of you neurotypicals want to call yourselves good people when you're just not. You don't give a fuck about other human lives. A lot of people want to tell me that I should take care of me first. I'm fucking trying. I can't take care of myself. Duh. So anyway, last night I had to try to figure out how to get to the hospital. I've gotten lost twice going to the hospital already before that. So, I mean, it was pretty important. I gotta be able to think. Yesterday was bad. Why was Natalie allowed to make police reports and I wasn't? Why was Natalie allowed to get help getting a protection order and I wasn't? Why did Natalie have so much help threatening, harassing, and intimidating me and my loved ones? I never once asked for that. I didn't ask for it for her either. I made sure that she felt emotionally how her and her friends had treated me. I made sure she felt what I felt. Just like when I'm screaming, you guys get to fear how I fear. If I do, and I probably will, end up committing suicide, you know, that whole thing about making a big mess, well, that'd be after somebody like my brother does something fucking horrible. That'd probably drive me into a wall. But really, my plan is to go up into the mountains and die. I want all of my predators, every single one of these predators, to have to look over their shoulder wondering when I'm going to come blow their house up. Wondering when I'm going to come exact my revenge. It was never about fucking revenge, stupid. It's about stopping the abuse against disabled people. Not just myself, Natalie Bollinger too. Natalie Bollinger needed help stopping the abuse from her own fucking family. She was suicidal over her family's opinions. She was suicidal over her family constantly telling her that she must be wrong because she's a heroin addict. This is a bunch of fucking meth addicts, heroin addicts, and alcoholics. This is a pot calling the kettle fucking black. I was able to get a little tiny bit of a charge on my phone. I was able to get a little bit of charge on a couple of my external batteries. It's enough to hopefully hold me off until 1 o'clock when I go to the library, because I'm going to try to sleep between now and then. There's no guarantee that's going to happen. The only person I ever wanted dead was me. Ever. I had to do desperate things to try to get heard. Natalie's predators became my predators. That's a tough pill to swallow. Here you are, being victimized over things that other people actually did. You're being victimized because somebody wants to pretend like you might. Because she didn't want to get in fucking trouble. None of these people wanted to get in fucking trouble. That's where they fucked up. They lied knowing there's a fucking trail. With Natalie Bollinger, well, after she died, it was real easy to find them emails. Not them emails, them Facebook messages. As soon as they made it a memorial page, I had access to the conversations between Natalie and I was finally able to take screenshots, and I was able to show people the conversations between Natalie and I. Not that it fucking mattered. There's lots of people that said, oh, dude, I read that stuff between you and Natalie, and fucking, yeah, dude, I'm totally on your side. Fucking, how can I help? Well, you could share it. It's an incredibly difficult concept, apparently. For people who can share 30 posts about Eazy-E, they can share 50 posts about Jason Momoa. They can share 20 posts about Elijah McClain. These people don't know any of them, but they do know me. They figure if they look the other way, well, more's the better. They don't know nothing. It didn't happen. We don't even get to the part where these son of a bitches look at my evidence. I did go in and let the folks at Starbucks know it's my last day today. I suppose the toughest part is how do I stash my car? Because, you know, if I put my car somewhere, anywhere that my corpse is going to end up is going to be within walking distance. You also know that I got hella pain tolerance and I can walk for fucking ever, so there's that. Well, I can't walk for forever now, but of course, then you got your car that's just sitting there and it starts making people wonder. They pull out their dogs and they find you pretty quick. Not cool. Do I have a plan? Yeah, I had a plan from the very start. My plan was to turn in Natalie and her friends in Boulder. That didn't work. No, I didn't try to turn in Natalie in Boulder. I just tried to turn in the crimes that happened in Boulder County. And most of them, no, I didn't try. I didn't try at all. I already knew that without a guardian, without an advocate, I was fucked. And that's the reason I was going through Nicole Jarrell, who referred me to Jeff. At the moment, I can't remember his last name. He works through Colorado Coalition of the Homeless. Alright, so last night, I needed a ride to the hospital. I couldn't call anybody, so I just started driving and honking my fucking horn. I didn't drive very fast. I made sure I drove slowly. I drove at least the speed limit or under. And I fucking honked my horn like a motherfucker till somebody pulled me over. That was Mr. Miller. So Mr. Miller pulls over and he wants me to roll down my window. It don't do nothing. So then he wants me to open my door. I tell him I can't roll down the window. Then he wants me to open the door. Well, I was locked in my car. See, if I don't, on the outside, if I don't push the handle in all the way, then the lock thing will only work halfway, and then I end up stuck in the vehicle. Obviously, I don't want to get stuck in my vehicle. So I had to go to the hospital, and I didn't know where it was at. And here I am, I'm honking, honk, 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 honk. Well, here's the flashy lights. Of course, then as soon as the flashy lights are up, I'm like, oh shit, there's nowhere to fucking pull over here. I'm on a 2-lane fucking town road, you know, it's 2 lanes. And there's cars all on the right-hand side. There's nowhere to pull over, so I literally just stop at the stop sign. So the officer gets out, he comes to my vehicle, he wants me to open this up, and he wants to open that up. And one of these things that they'll do to you, and this is an outright lie every time they tell you this, they tell you they need you to roll down the window or open the door because they can't hear you. They're liars. If you can hear them, they can hear you. Gee, I wonder if that's one of the state troopers. Probably. What a waste of time. Obviously, I don't want to have to threaten anybody. When I say have to, I do mean it. Obviously, if I'm going to threaten somebody's life, I'm not actually going to kill them. But I shouldn't have to do that. I shouldn't have to stoop to that. But the reality of the situation is that I really do. That's what Meg didn't want to get. Her idea, instead of trying to turn it in, she wanted to do jack shit for months and months. Not even tell the cops that it's not her job. No, I had to fucking call her with them present and tell her she needed to fucking explain it. James Hammond, I do believe. The other thing is, these officers, obviously, they've got communication going on, but, well, I talked to one officer, and she explained it to him, but the others apparently didn't get the fucking message. Of course, it didn't matter that she explained it to Hammond either. He didn't give two shits. He works for a crooked sheriff. The crooked sheriff says do crooked shit. Hammond falls into suit, you know. Anyway, that officer wanted to raise his voice at me in a hostile tone. Not okay. Definitely not okay. So I put my hand up like this, put my face right up to the fucking window, and I screamed at the top of my lungs, I can't roll down the window, and I'm locked in my car. I need you to push the handle in so I can open the door. And I screamed it at the top of my lungs so that he couldn't play fucking retarded. And he stopped playing retarded at that point. He pushed the thing in on my door so that I could actually unlock it and open it up and speak to him, because apparently, well, just so you know, this is a lie every cop tells you in order to get you to, well, open up just a little bit. That allows them to get some fingers in there. If you open your door to talk to them, they can grab your door. You can't try to close it, because if you do, you get charged with assault. They're not allowed to do that, but who gives a fuck? It's your word versus them. And of course, Western Nebraska, the judge doesn't give a fuck how many laws they break. Does not give a fuck. Also, there's something that I noticed. Although there ain't any blacks or Mexicans in town, almost every time that I went to court in Dual County, Nebraska, there's foreign people. A bunch of damn foreign people. What, you can't investigate any of the crimes by any of the people in fucking town, but you can harass everybody with brown fucking skin and run them through the fucking courts? Yes, Chapel, Nebraska is very fucking racist. Those judges have been in place since the Bob Richards days. Bob Richards was the county attorney years ago. This guy is famous. This guy was all in with the KKK. You know what's funny? The guy who ran against Bob was Doug Pollock. Oh, everybody in town could tell you some horror stories about that son of a bitch. Like when he beat the fuck out of his wife and locked her in the fucking closet. And he got probation and got to keep his job. Holy fuck. Anyway, that officer, he was gonna give me verbal instructions on how to get to the hospital. That's not gonna work. You think you could drive ahead of me and I'll follow you? That way we can guarantee I get there? Sure enough, that's what he did. When I got to the hospital, there was a security guard there named Corey, and he was pretty alright. I went in and talked to the doctor. Well, I talked to a nurse first, and then I talked to the doctor. And, I didn't, like every time I go in, I don't try to get something done about the physical pain. The reason for that is because I don't want to get addicted to opiates, and pretty much everything else doesn't fucking touch it. I can't tell the difference when I got the medication. If I take medications, as soon as they wear off, the pain does get worse. So it's not worth it to take them. There's a lot of stuff that was said at the hospital, but obviously I didn't get any sleep last night. Hopefully that racist old guy is no longer there at the park and ride. I'll go up there and get a nap in. If not, I can go over to the marina over there. And, please help get assisted suicide legal. If you're called mentally ill, you're not a human being to anyone, and that is obvious. People love me because I was good to them. I was too nice, though. I listened too much and too well. And people got into the habit of, Sean listens to people's problems. So when they offered to help me, I ended up listening to their problems. And then people want to be angry. They're like, why are you telling my personal business? Well, I tell you what, we could have focused on my personal business. I thought you were going to be helping me, not yakking about yourself the whole time. Shannon Alvarado was probably one of the worst ones at that. I'm glad she was able to find her friend Marnie. Shannon was also able to get a hold of her family, and they didn't want her. Marnie's family didn't want her. When you've got an autistic person who's in crisis, they need help. If you tell them that you're going to make time, and you don't make time, it is an emergency. The longer it takes, the more likely it is for these predators to get away. Shannon Alvarado never once tried to make a fucking police report about not Layla Johnson, about Kara Johnson Miles. Never once. By her own admission. And her excuse was she was in the wrong state. No. See, that's the thing, Shannon. If you'd have made the effort and they would have denied it, well, then we've got some comparisons that we could make. Equality. Case law. The great thing about case law is that I can cite case law from my own court situations and from my predators' court situations. Case law. I can show that the things that I was punished for that I had tried to turn those things in when other people did them to me, and I was told they were not illegal. I need help going through all of this. I don't need somebody who's going to show up fucking half-baked, doesn't know what the fuck is going on, and wants to treat it as a fucking party. Not that it matters, none of you give a shit. What I'd really like to do, and it would actually risk all of my evidence, but I'd like to get some DOT3 fluid and some pool shock treatment and stick it in one of those 25-cent machine balls. Try to stuff it in my mouth. On video. You know why people kill themselves in front of someone else? So that someone else can feel the pain. There's one girl I knew. She was a cutter. Now, she didn't kill herself in front of her mom. She just made sure she killed herself or her mom was going to find the body. You know why that is? It's because her mom helped to cover up the crimes her dad committed. Women are far less likely to commit suicide, so that's pretty heavy loss. Her suicide versus Mobley's accidental death. They both hurt. I always have the ability to speak up. There's a lot of stuff I can't do from a distance. Oh, the racist asshole is here now. So I guess it's time to relocate. I got the library meeting room rented from 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock today, so I'm going to try to become conscious in time to do that. Eric doesn't understand that, well, he doesn't understand anything, actually. He's incapable.